Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 2nd of July. Almost said January there, just slipping back a little bit then. So what we've got lined up today, well, of course, it's non-farm payrolls day. There'll be a lot of focus on this afternoon. It could end up being a quiet morning, maybe even a quiet afternoon, as the focus gets so into those numbers. Let's get today's date on there. Be good today instead of yesterday. There we go. Non-farms at 1:30. So we've got Lagarde speaking at the same time due to participating panel discussion titled "What have we learnt in 2020?" Okay, not a lot. Did I? That's ruled out her speech then. Right. Okay. So OPEC meetings today. So those following oil, beware. This is the second day of OPEC, and well, could come to some conclusions from those meetings, and it was expected when I last read that the increase in production would go ahead by about 500 million barrels a day. If that's all, and we're seeing the sort of growth figures we may see a push up into oil anyway, or continued push up on that for now. As I say, non-farms is a big one. In particular, they're still looking at employment change. The ADP figures came out on Wednesday, but they're as useful as a chocolate teapot, as I often say. They've just got no relevance. They're only right for about 75% of the time. So there we are. The key things to look out for then is that the actual employment change today. There will be people looking at the average earnings just to see if there's any movement in that. But really, just getting people back to work is the key thing there. Before I look at I'm going to do it around the other way today. So let's have a look at some of the indices first. We'll start off looking at S&Ps. I haven't highlighted that one. There we go. S&Ps then, it's from a daily chart. I'm not going to come down the time frames on this. It's just literally continuing yesterday, pushing up once again. A bit more of a surge yesterday after sort of relatively small bars there. It sort of give you sort of maybe putting some doubt in people's mind about how far this has got to go. Well, it showed it yesterday and had quite a surge up there, running through and closing towards the highs there. So positive look on things there. Looking at the European markets this morning, and I say this morning, just looking at a DAX here, it's still in this consolidated zone. Yesterday it really spinning top sort of candle, very indecisive candle there. Equilibrium, whatever you may like to call it, but it hasn't managed to see the same push through we've seen with the at least some of the US markets. FTSE up this morning. FTSE not open yet this morning, but the futures are up this morning. I know that's yesterday, so beg your pardon. So we haven't got to move up at all yet on that. In that case, that is yesterday's figure. So pushing up at the moment, or pushed up yesterday, should I say? A bullish looking sort of move for there. Let's say DAX consolidating where it is at the moment. That is live. Looking at other US markets and NASDAQ there, well, it's slowed down over the last couple of days. There we go. And the Dow Jones, well, that's still climbing steadily. Right, let's get on and look at the currencies anyway, which is much more in my scene. So euro dollar continuing selling off here. Yesterday putting a good old rally at one stage, and then the afternoon came and it all ran over, and it's sort of the story at the moment. So all it's doing is providing good lower highs, lower lows, and nothing's really changing this at the moment. It just looks like, well, it's got potential to continue in that way. Looking down even into the 60-minute time frame at the moment, it looks quite bearish. Of course, come 8 o'clock, we see often, well, we'll see some volatility kicking in there. Whether this will manage to muster any upside is another matter. It may be coming right the way back down to often have to come down to the 5-minute charts just to see if it can give a bit of a retrace, see if we can sell into anything there. But you can just see you come down to these 5-minute charts, how choppy they've been through Asian session so far, but hardly worth looking at. But just to give you an idea of the consolidation there. The pound Pounds broke its lows yesterday, whereas the others had already done so. It broke its low, or some of the others, and is selling off as I talking at the moment, just looking soft again, lower highs, lower lows. So retracements may offer opportunities. I mean, it's already gone from 5 o'clock this morning. I should have looked at the charts when the dog woke me up this morning, or dogs woke me up this morning there at 5 o'clock then. But there you are, off it goes, and selling at the moment again. Look at all I can say for these. All I will be looking for is retracements, and less retracements at the moment in terms of opportunities for later. And we'll see what comes out of non-farms. Dollar yen again, continuation to the upside, higher lows, higher highs, pushing up their solid movements. Again, retracements, we saw very little in the way of retracements yesterday. Actually, it was the yen, it consolidated as opposed to retraced. Really messy old sort of day. There's the consolidation. It never really came off very far, whereas the other markets pulled off and then eventually pushing up there. Today, just consolidating in this sort of rising wedge sort of pattern, a breakout for this, and you just expect further continuation to the upside. So all in all, that's where we are with these markets. Canadian dollar, so a quick look at this. Again, it's been pushing up and looks like it's got more upside here. Notice we haven't got the Canadian data. Jobs data normally comes out the same day, or often comes out the same day as non-farms. That's obviously coming out next Friday, so Canadian dollar may be an easier play with the US dollar later, with non-farms coming out, because there's only one data set to come or be released. At the moment, well, looking bullish for the Canadian dollar. Just coming down the time frames here, and it's just got this sort of almost ready for a breakout post 8 o'clock. These tend to work quite well. It's a bit of an uglier picture than we saw last time. This one back here early in the week. It was earlier in the week. I'm just remembering which week we were in. This was a nice one with the higher lows coming through here. Here we've got a bit more of a messy sort of situation. We'll see what happens, but it does look like it could just break quite early and continue there. Okay, quick look at New Zealand dollar. Again, weakness, but yesterday, but it still hasn't broken the absolute lows there. So it's been a little bit more stubborn. Again, no consolidation, and it does look like, well, again, we could just see this sort of these markets roll over and push down. They have got daily pivot on the above here, so any reversal may be a target. But for now, dollar strength is certainly the order of the day through all these markets. Okay, let's just check. Gone through major currencies there. Let's just check on what's going on over in the world of there. Nothing at all. That's fine. Right, okay, New Zealand dollar, right, let's have a look at gold. That's right, I've already done the equities. So gold, well, divergence sits there across the lows on the on RSI, on the bigger time frames. There we go. It's managed a reasonable couple of days on the upside there at the moment, upside tilt. Whether this is going to hold is another matter. I was immediately drawn to the potential trendline break that's well, it's sitting across these lows. Actually, it's almost stepping out of them, but maybe a break below that 1773 area could see further downside. Okay, that's gold and oil. So oil, big chunk up yesterday, pushing up to $76. Well, people were talking about $100 barrels at some point this year. Well, at this rate, it could be going that way. But there we are. We'll see. As soon as it starts pushing up too high, I'm sure we're going to get a rush of production coming through. But at the moment, consolidation, and well, probably best left until later this afternoon, as I always say. The opportunities normally come out later, but yesterday it didn't hang around. It pushed up at 11 o'clock, so we'll see. But at the moment it's looking good for a nice little trend line break later. Right, that's oil. Bitcoin, I'll run back to the other market, other chart for that. Let's just bring crypto on there. Just look at the crypto markets briefly then. Bitcoin. So another day down yesterday and selling off at the moment. So again, dollar strength running through. These are dollar backed cryptos here. So just seeing the dollar strength running through all the markets I'm looking at. It's dollar strength at the moment and pushing through now. Maybe there's great expectations for these jobs numbers later, and if they come out poorly, perhaps with all this sort of dollar pressure and strength, we could see it bounce back quite quickly, but we'll see. There we go. That's it for me today. I wish you a great day trading, and I will particularly be careful with the non-farm payrolls. Have a great one. Bye for now.